Okay, I'm here to clear up some confusion. There is more than one Copilot. In fact, there are hundreds of different Copilot experiences. And what I'm going to do in this video is explain the one that's causing the most confusion, which is the difference between Microsoft Copilot and Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365. Yes, that's really the product name. So what I'm going to do here is take you through in depth first what Microsoft Copilot is. This is the one that is available to pretty much everyone. As long as you've got a Microsoft account of some kind, you can use this. And then I'll make the comparison with Microsoft 365 Copilot to show you what you're paying for, if you are paying for that, or if you do have access to that, and to compare these things that are causing confusion, as well as where Copilot Studio fits in to allow you to extend and customize your own Copilots. And if you have a fun game on the side there for every time I say Copilot in this video, good luck to you. Let's start from the top here. The word Copilot is Microsoft's brand, if you like, for anything they do where they bring generative AI into a Microsoft experience. So this is why there's about 150 of them, because there's lots of different experiences across all sorts of apps, from Windows, Edge, PowerPoint, Word, Dynamics, Power Platform apps, GitHub. There's Copilots all over the place. So as a starting point, Copilot is just used as that generic term, and then we have Copilot for all these different things. Microsoft Copilot as a single brand name is this. This is your everyday AI companion, formerly known as Bing Chat or Bing Chat Enterprise. Gotta say, happy about this rebranding. This one makes a whole lot of sense. The idea here is that this is something that you use in your Edge browser. It does support Chrome as well, to work with generative AI, being able to do a ChatGPT experience, but with some context of what's going on in the browser. So the way this works is that you go to this address, copilot.microsoft.com, in your browser. You will be prompted to sign in. Now you'll see here that you can sign in either with your personal Microsoft account or with your work address. The experience of what you can do will be the exact same thing. The difference is that if you're using a work address with a business Microsoft account of some kind, then you're getting some commercial data protection. So here's me signed in with my personal Microsoft account. You'll see that I've got a chat experience here where I can work through things. It also has context of your browser history if you want that. You don't have to have that, but that's something that can help with the context of the conversation. Not sure I'm a big fan of that one. And here is me signed in with my work address, and you'll see exactly the same experience, but we have this protected. Now, what this means is it's not actually accessing any of my tenant data, any of my business data in the background, but it's accessing what I give it. So I'm going to take you through showing you some things that I work with in the browser here. So this commercial protection means Microsoft has no eyes on what I'm doing. It's not collecting that data to train the model. Whereas if you just signed in with your public free Microsoft account, that is not commercially protected in the same way. So use that for anything that's not sensitive, personal use, just having some fun with generating images and generating content. But if you're using this in a workplace context and you've got perhaps confidential information, you want to work with proposal documents or planning documents, then when you're using this, it is protected and it's not being shared with Microsoft and not being shared back with the models. But the functionality is the same. So that's what I mean about this one, that everyone can use this. You do not have to be paying for it. You do not have to be an enterprise customer. So let's take a look at some of the things that we can do here. First up, you can generate images. So just to pick up on a bit of a viral trend that's going around at the moment, let's see if we can use this to create an image. You'll get this reminder as well. Your personal and company data are protected in the chat. I'll try to create that. This is obviously not the image I've asked for. This is the cute little placeholder image. And what it's going to do is access the DALL-E 3 image generation models. It's actually here now accessing another product called Image Creator from Microsoft Designer. That's another new free tool you can use to do all sorts of cool design things. And there we go. Not too bad, actually. Does that look like me? Maybe. I could be more specific and add some badges on the jacket and come back and have fun with those things. So image generation is one of the things that you can do here. The other thing you can do is to ask it to generate things for you. So I'm launching my new range of chocolates. You'll see I'm not giving it very much context or information here, which is never the best way to get the most out of AI, but just to show you that you can generate some text here based on that prompt copy paste that and take that along with you. But this gets far more valuable when you start to give it context. So let's take a look at how it can work with something in your browser. We've got a new announcement of a product feature here, and we want to run a webinar on this. What we've also got on the side here is this pop-out Copilot experience where now we can work with the context of a web page or a document in the browser. We're running a webinar to launch this particular thing that's described on this page. Please write a short email invitation. And off it goes, reading that page and coming back with the context. Now, this is working with information I've put in the browser. I'm asking it to draft an email. I could then take a copy of this, open Outlook, and send that email. Microsoft 365 Copilot has this experience inside Outlook. We're going to come back to this in more detail, but this is just working in my browser. It's not actually in Outlook, but you can see that I can actually still get quite a lot of value out of this, generating this email, refining the content, and taking it through to Outlook where I want it to be. You can also work with documents inside the browser. This is a PDF document, Commonwealth of Australia, explanatory memorandum on blah, 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 and on it goes. I'm going to use AI to help me with this. If you've got a Word document, go File, Export as PDF, and you can work with that in here as well. So what I'm going to do here is ask it to provide me with a summary of that so that I don't need to read it all myself. Give this a second to come through here. Again, difference here between this and the Microsoft 365 Copilot is that I am choosing to open this document in this moment and give it to it, and it is commercially protected. It's not sharing any of this information. Microsoft 365 Copilot allows you to be inside Word. It's inside that document to say, please refer to these other documents stored within my tenant and collate a whole bunch of things together. That's a much more sophisticated thing. If you don't have that, this is something that you can quite happily and reasonably do for no extra cost at all. So here we go. I've got a nice summary of all of these things. One of my favorite things to do with this, and something you've probably seen a lot, don't explain it to me like I'm a 10-year-old, because frankly, this is pretty complicated. I need to get across this quickly, and I just want the core facts of what's going on, and I can get a much simpler explanation. You'll notice with this that it's giving you the footnotes, so it'll actually reference where it came from in the document so that you can be sure that it's not hallucinating and cross-check. So if you're using this for any kind of professional summaries or research or any of those things, this is actually a really, really good way to validate that you're getting the right references and that it's not making things up. Here we go. Here's a nice short summary of these things. Now, because we're just in Microsoft Copilot and not in the full Microsoft 365 Copilot, which is the big license and sitting inside all of those apps, let's say I want to draft. We saw the earlier example of drafting something in an email format, but let's say that I want to do something that could be a PowerPoint document. In Microsoft 365 Copilot for Microsoft 365, I could be in PowerPoint saying, please generate me a PowerPoint deck based on this document. Yes, that is much better. Yes, you are paying a premium for that. But given that we don't have that here, what we can do is still take a fair bit of the legwork out of it. Here's my document, draft the content of a PowerPoint presentation on this topic, up to 5 slides with bullet points for each slide. Within PowerPoint itself, you can use sort of designing elements and things to shortcut that process. You are still going to have to actually create the deck and bring in all of those pieces, but this is going to make that content creation a whole lot easier, and this is something that you can do that you will have access to. We can go all the way back up. This is going to save me a whole stack of time. I can copy that, I can export it. You could ask it to write the script for you. You can ask it to make it shorter. So we've got all of that sorted out. Let's switch gears now and have a look at the difference between this. I've given you a few hints along the way. So this is Microsoft Copilot. You're not paying anything for this. You're just logging in with your Microsoft account, commercially protected if you've got a business account. The difference, though, is that if we use Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365, this is doing 2 things that are really above and beyond what we've just seen. The first thing is that it's connected to the Microsoft Graph. So this is connected to all of the data in your tenant, your chats, your emails, your documents, all of that stuff is just, it's connected. Whereas Microsoft Copilot, the one that's not costing you anything, you bring it context, you bring it a document or you bring it a website. This one lives inside and alongside all of your documents. This is like an assistant. So this one is called your AI assistant at work. This is like an assistant who's read all your emails, read all your documents, been in all your meetings. So its knowledge is everything that you as the logged in user have access to. So then the other thing it does is that it exists inside the apps that you use. So if we come down and have a look at all of this, we've actually got within here the ability to have it sort of sitting inside Teams. So it's tracking what's going on with a meeting inside Word so that you can ask it to generate things based on the context of what's going on inside PowerPoint. So you can see this is quite the level up from what I was doing where I'm asking it to generate PowerPoint-like content and then I have to go and create the PowerPoint. This one is actually living inside PowerPoint. So Microsoft Copilot in your Edge browser with whatever you give it and it will treat it with confidence. Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365 connected to the graph, connected to all of your business data that you have access to as the logged in user and sitting inside those apps. There is enormous power and value with this. There is a cost to it, and this is the one at the time of recording that's only available to enterprise. So if you don't have access to this right now, I would encourage you to use Microsoft Copilot in the meantime, because that's a different thing and you can do that. So Microsoft Copilot Studio then fits in as the piece that allows you to create your own copilots. Now, if you have the Microsoft 365 Copilot license, that big one, $30 per user per month, this is now included in that, and you can use it to extend and customize that Microsoft 365 Copilot experience. But if you don't, there is still plenty in here for you as well. You can actually use this to create your own custom copilots. So this is coming in and saying, I want to point to my website, I want to point to these documents, upload these documents, point to my SharePoint site, and have a copilot that works across all of those things. And you can do that without needing the Microsoft 365 Copilot license. You create your own copilot. You have to feed it the documents. It's not connected to everything. You give it the documents or you point it to your SharePoint site, and then it can be a chatbot, a copilot experience that works with all of that data that you've just given it access to. That is a license that you can buy even if you don't have the Microsoft 365 Copilot license. I've got a whole video here taking you through how to do that. And then if you'd like to know more about some of the other hundreds of Copilot experiences, have a look at this website to get across more of what's going on in this space.